Good afternoon, good morning in some places, good evening, whatever your case may be. Coach Sherry, Reverend Sherry, Chaplain Sherry. Just got a quick word that I have been thinking about, and I want to just share and get it off of my mind. And so just come on in here and indulge me for a minute. I pray that your day is going well. Chaplain Sherry, Reverend Sherry, your community pastor Sherry. I promise you, I am not going to be on here long. Just come on. But I do have something to say that I have just been thinking through as I work with and I encounter, and even in my own life, I encounter women who have been given this assignment that pushes against the grain, that pushes against society, that pushes against even sometimes what the church is saying that women should or should not do. So come on in. Coach Sherry, Reverend Sherry, Chaplain Sherry, your community pastor Sherry from the 800 block of Mooney Avenue. I'm thinking about how the church, society, through what I believe is misinterpreted scripture of the story of Ruth and Boaz. Right? And we push this thing that I'm looking for my Boaz, and a woman should have a Boaz, somebody to rescue her, to redeem her, and to save her, right? But the more I think about this, Joseph is my kind of man. Joseph is the man that I believe, if we're looking for anything, or if we're looking for a quality, we should really take a look at Joseph. Joseph lived at a time where patriarchy ruled the day, pretty much like today, pretty much like the 21st century. That it's a man's world, right? And here it is. A woman, really a young girl, who is engaged to him, has this divine interruption that God is doing something with her that could really cost her her life. That this assignment that Mary has, that this call on Mary's life could turn certainly her world upside down, but Joseph's world upside down. Now, she is not married to Joseph, but the way that engagements took place in that world, she was as good as married to Joseph. She was betrothed to Joseph, meaning that all they needed now was the paperwork. All they needed was the paperwork. And so to have the angel or God to interrupt her life, to tell her that she is pregnant with a child when she is engaged to Joseph. And the law says that Joseph can technically have her killed, stoned to death. Joseph does not have to maintain the agreement to be her husband. He can break the contract. He can break the contract between really him and her father if Mary on the wedding night does not produce blood on the sheaths to indicate that she's a virgin. The law says, the Torah says, if she was not pure, she could be stoned to death. Joseph would be within his rights to take her down. Mary has to tell Joseph that she is carrying a baby that's not his. So not only is she not a virgin, but Mary is carrying a baby that does not belong to Joseph. Yet, God silences Joseph and would not let Joseph speak against Mary. Does not allow Joseph to do what he legally could do. Throw her away. My friends, I encounter women every day who have been called to preach, who have been called to teach, who have been called to lead. But the men in their lives, their husbands, their fathers, their pastors, say no. If you do this thing, we will put you out. We will discard you. And in many ways, they kill you. They kill the woman with their mouths. They reject her with harmful theology based upon patriarchy. Yet Joseph, perhaps after God working on him and working through him, he does not do what legally he could do because God's hand was on Mary and on the situation. That's why we need more Josephs and less Boazes. A woman who has an assignment. A woman who has been called to carry the word goes against the systems, the laws, the bylaws of the church. Yet she has to do this thing. And she needs Josephs in her life. She needs Josephs in her life and not Boaz's. The question is, what happens when my assignment goes against my reality? Many women who are married, and I know what I'm talking about because I work with many women who are married. Some are married to preachers' wives. Some are pastors' wives, are married to preachers. Some are pastor wives or first ladies. They can't go forth because their husbands reject it. Because their husbands would rather walk in patriarchy than allow this woman to go forth, to follow the commands of God. And many tell them, if you do this, we can't be together. And that woman has to make a decision. But it doesn't have to be like that. Follow the lead of Joseph and close your mouth. Don't be intimidated by Mary's assignment. Oh, leave the Boazes alone. Leave the Boazes alone. Leave the Boazes alone, ladies. And let's look for us some Josephs. Someone who is able to handle the assignments on our lives. Are there some Josephs out there who are willing to stand up for rather than stand against the woman who has an assignment that pushes against society's norms? Every job that I've had, past and present, I have done a work that is gone against, that has been a man's job, so to speak. Even when I worked in the newsroom. When I worked in the newsroom, it was the men who were the editors. It was the men who were the publishers. Even if you look at the old TV shows, if there was a woman in the newsroom, the woman was usually the secretary, the clerk, or she did obituaries, or she did cooking segments, a lifestyle segment. She told you how to keep your clothes white. And then for a woman to come along to be an editor or to be a publisher, it was hell. Even as my role as a chaplain, people are still shocked when they ask me, so what do you do? And I say that I'm the chaplain. Oh, they're just like in awe that I would be a chaplain. And what they're really saying is because to be a chaplain, you have to be a preacher. You have to be an ordained preacher. Which says that, nah, that's not a woman's role. And certainly in the church. So I say, and my question is, where are the Josephs? I'll take a Joseph any day. Because I know that it's only a Joseph who will be able to take me. Y'all be blessed and may all be well with your day. Bye-bye.